Hello again. So now I'm on the next video on my request list. Now this was a fascinating request because I blend my astrology chart for myself with my numerology chart. Now, of course, they don't blend totally, but you can see the elements of the astrology chart that are linked to the same elements in the numerology chart. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Sorry, that came on without totally without warning, so I hope I didn't cough down the mic there. I do apologise. So this person requested that I do their life path 9, which is their purpose, with their expression number, Master 11-2. Now, the life path is your purpose and the expression is your talent. They said then to blend that with their astrology chart, which is the main parts, which is their Taurus sun, which is their purpose, together with the North Node, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But the most key number here is the Taurus sun, the Capricorn moon, which I liken to the expression number, and Gemini rising, which is very much, for me anyway, my personality and soul urge all rolled into one. So first of all, I'll show the purpose. Okay, so you've got the life path 9. Now your birth date, whoever requested this video and any other people that have this combination, looking at your birthday number with your life path would be really important here, but I didn't get this person's birthday number, so look into your birthday number and put that together with your life path 9. And I know you have to consider the sub lessons as well, but that's a very detailed video and you'd need my membership for that kind of personal service. So I'm going to start with the life path 9, the main purpose number, and the Taurus sun, which is the main purpose in astrology. Then the expression number, because it's the life path 9 and expression that are the main numbers, and the expression number 11 with the Capricorn moon, and then of course the add-on, which is the rising or ascending sign. So like I said, the sun and moon sign in astrology are like the most important forces, likened to the life path and expression number, which are the most important forces in the numerology chart. And when I look at my chart, I'm a sun sign Scorpio, which is very spiritual, becoming more resilient from learning life's lessons, which is what I advocate through my life path. Really, what I do is what I advocate, try and help people to be more resilient and understand that the challenges that they go through, are part of their evolution, and they bring them down, they hurt them, they cause them pain, but fundamentally they will teach them very profound lessons. So that's the sun sign, which likens to my life path 7, which again is about inner development and life lessons. And I see a correlation between my life path 7 and my sun sign Scorpio. And my moon sign is Leo, which very much correlates to the energy of the 5, and Leo is the 5th sign, which is what. So Leo is very expressive, very communicative, gobby, likes to be the centre of attention, although I was more like that when I was a kid, less so now. I'm comfortable talking to big groups, but it's not something that I, go for like I did as a child. But I have a Leo moon, which means that I'm communicative like the expression 5. So for me, my life path 7 and my sun sign Scorpio and my Leo moon with my expression number 5, I can see the correlation between the two. And even with my rising sign, which is Gemini, the love of study and communication, that really for me fits with my personality and soul urge number, the fact that I love to study and research. I'm a soul urge 7, by the way. Personality 7 as well. There's a lot of 7s in my chart. And of course, the Gemini rising likes to chat and be a social chameleon, but they also love to study and research. And the Gemini encompasses my personality really and what I like to do. So I make those links, but of course you've got to intuitively make those links yourself. And if you're more knowledgeable about astrology, you're going to pull more things in. I mean, my subject is numerology, but astrology is like an add-on. I'm studying the signs at the minute. It's not my mastery. But what I have noticed, that the sun sign is not the only element of purpose in an astrology chart. So whereas I said for numerology, you should always look at your birthday number as well as your life path number, in astrology, you look at your sun sign, but also look at your north node, because that's saying where you're going. That is the epitome of your purpose going forward. And looking at that with your sun sign will give you more clarity in astrology as to what your purpose is. My north node is Scorpio as well, by the way, so it's very much a double Scorpio sun and north node for me. And that's the Scorpion energy of my life purpose, what I'm working towards, my developing abilities really, that again really correlates with the abilities that I'm developing in my life path 7. But this is me. You might find that it's different for you when you combine the astrology chart, or if you haven't done that combination yet, it might be something for you to look at, or you can even request a video from me. You'll go to the end of quite a long list, unless you're a member. Woohoo, plug in my memberships. Anyway, moving on. Moon sign is your instinctive emotional responses, how you express yourself, and it's like your expression number. Well, it definitely is for me. My moon sign is very much how I express myself to the world, and end up being the gobby one, which is something that I got in trouble with as a child. As a 5, I was the rebellious type, the Leo lion that roared at people and didn't like being told what to do, but that's another video. So the moon sign, I think, is like the expression number. It's like how you emotionally express yourself to the world. Then you've got your rising sign or your ascending sign, which for me is my interests and my identity, and it's how people see me, and it's how my heart is. It's like the personality and soul urge energies put together. So I'm going to do, first of all, look at the life path 9. Okay, and don't forget, when you watch this video, think about that life path 9 that I'm about to say, but also consider your birthday number as well, because that's a major sub lesson. Then I'm going to look at that Taurus sun and describe what your purpose is according to the Taurus sun. And then I ask you in your time to look at your north node, just, look at as well, just to get further clarity, look at other elements as well, and help you pull together your purpose and your abilities as per your life path and expression of numerology, and your sun sign, moon sign and ascending sign in astrology. So your life path 9 purpose, it's quite a spiritual life path, but it's also very practical in the world, because you're taking your spiritual wisdom and all your intuition and you're applying it to the world to influence others. So it's a very high level wisdom-filled spiritual force that can be used very well in action strategically in the world. So you're here to learn to follow when you act, when you make decisions. Make sure it's on your intuitive wisdom and not based on the worldly ideals or discriminatory ideals of the world, that it's your intuition that's driving you. So follow your intuitive wisdom. Live to spiritual laws rather than discriminatory worldly laws and conventions and ideals. And focus on your intuitive faith over the logic that the world is showing you. It's not saying not to look at that worldly logic, but to actually put, most of the focus then and the decision-making power in the hands of your intuitive faith. Learn to act with integrity for the benefit of others. That's what 9s are here to do. Very, very powerful energy, that you have. And when you have a powerful energy, you've got to be responsible and be full of integrity about that, because you could create great things, but you can also destroy. You've got to use this immense power for the benefit of others. Otherwise, it can be very, very destructive. So ethics and integrity and responsibility in everything you do and how that impacts others, leading by example, practicing what you preach, is something that the 9 is here to do. Make your life your teaching. Counsel with wisdom, influence and teach with wisdom. You're here to be a developed soul, an amalgamation of all the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're here to turn your hand to anything, to have an expanded awareness, to accept the world for what it is and have no discrimination, to counsel all and the world like a humanitarian, like a developed soul, full of using your cellular experience and your higher knowledge and your intuition to help you to influence people towards well-being. You're here to develop broad-mindedness, meet and accept diverse people and accept them for who they are, learn to be a humanitarian, make the world a better place and have a global consciousness and really care about the impact of what you do on the world. Take responsibility for those very powerful choices. Develop towards taking your passion and your mastery and your wisdom and your multi-abilities and market that and your passion as a successful entrepreneur or business person. Something you feel passionate about, though. The 9 is not going to really want to focus on anything that they don't really buy into. So as a 9, one of your tasks of your life path is to be that entrepreneur that markets what they're passionate about, something you love, marketing that as a business and only marketing it if it has some kind of meaning to you, it's passionate to you, something that you love to do. You're a potential powerful force for positive change. That's where the responsibility and integrity comes in, because you're also a powerful force for negative, destructive change if you're not being responsible and acting with integrity. But when you are, you're a powerful force for the well-being of others, and you can bring change that really helps the lives of others. And that's your purpose to achieve. You're here to develop excellent social skills and charisma so that people will listen to your leadership, so that people will listen to what you say. They will watch what you do and emulate it. And they're only going to do that if they have a certain amount of respect for your wisdom. So you need to develop the skills of an influencer, a powerful speaker, so that people start to hang on your every word, so that what you teach them, what you try to influence them really goes in and they follow you. And again, another reason why you must be responsible with what you say. You're here to look after the well-being of others. But when you're in trouble, because you see yourself as the protector and the bringer of well-being to others, you might not ask for help when you need it. And when you're in trouble or need support or even a hug, people don't tend to notice because you tend to hide it, because inside you feel it's a weakness for you to show weakness, which is completely the opposite of what you should do, because we all need someone to lean on, don't we? Don't get me singing, because I will. You're here to wrap things up, let go and surrender, because as a 9 you can hold on to things a little bit, and that can cause a victim mentality, which can at least hold you back, but at worst cause some 9s to be very vengeful towards the person that they perceive that has hurt them. And they need to see those challenges as a lesson to learn in life, not as something to either hold them back or to be vengeful about. You may follow, as a 9, you may struggle with worldly laws and prejudices, because remember, all these things that you've got to do, they're all, not all of them are things you're going to find easy. It's your life path. So some of these elements are going to be difficult. And some of these challenges that I'm about to say to you are going to be stronger than others, because it depends on the other numbers in your chart, how you show the weaknesses, and whether, if you have an expression number that supports some of these weaknesses, you're going to struggle less with them than somebody that doesn't. So just in isolation, the challenges of the 9 is that some 9s follow worldly laws and prejudice and totally ignore their intuition. And they'll use worldly laws, prejudice, discrimination or actions of others as an excuse for their actions. But if they'd followed their intuitive wisdom, they definitely wouldn't have acted that way. So, 9s can very much focus on worldly race. Sometimes some 9s at their worst can be bigoted. Now, I'm not saying you are if you're a life path 9. I'm just saying that at a 9's worst, they can be that far towards the bigotry end of the scale. But you're working towards not. So the likelihood is you're somewhere in the middle or moving up towards being that all-accepting humanitarian. And you're meant to struggle with that. So don't beat yourself up about that. It's part of your path of development. At your worst, you can act, instead of for the well-being of others, that's what you're here for, you might act for selfish reasons, under the guise of helping others, but actually it's for yourself. And that's simply because you're here to improve the well-being of others. So it's going to be a challenge for you to work towards prioritizing other people, not just yourself. A 9 is very powerful, very all-knowing, very full of wisdom. There's a lot of potential there, and it can make a 9 quite domineering and the ultimate advisor with all the answers. But a 9, you can't be a fixer. You've got to let others make their own mistakes and walk their own path of development. Otherwise, you're just walking all over their life path. You can, as a 9, because you're here to be broad-minded, you can be narrow-minded, judgmental, and like I said, at worst bigoted, because you're working towards being broad-minded and a total humanitarian for all, no matter who you are or where you come from. Sometimes 9s, because they're so powerful and they think, oh no, what have I done? They can run away from the consequences of their powerful actions instead of taking responsibility for that. And it's their path to actually take responsibility for their actions, but, most importantly, be responsible in their action in the first place. You've got to ask for what you need too. You might be a 9 and a potential bringer of well-being, but you need help too. Sometimes you've got to, ask for help when you need it. There's nothing weak about asking for help when you need it. You can have, as a 9, a bit of a victim mentality, because sometimes 9s can hold on to things because they're here to move on. They can hold on, and they might hold on to feelings that no longer serve them, and be unable to move on from perceived injustice. Sometimes it's rooted in family issues going way back, and it's sort of used as not only as a tool to hold you back or as an excuse for inaction, but sometimes as an excuse to hold vengeful feelings, which is not going to help you or anyone else. What you need to do as a 9 is to think, what did I learn, or what can I become conscious of and learn from that negative experience? And it reframes that experience so that it's not considered something to hold you back or to be upset with someone about. It's part of your learning curriculum. Now, that was the life path 9. Remember, don't forget that birthday number. So when I look at the main sun sign in astrology, so the life path was all about influencing and teaching and passing your wisdom on to promote the well-being of others. Now that needs now to be blended with your sun sign. How can you be a 9 but also be a Taurus sun sign? So as a Taurus sun, your life purpose is to build something, or an idea, anything. Build something, some person, some situation, some idea, and be it of lasting value. To develop gifts of persistence and resilience so that you don't end up ever giving up on what you do. Like, the 9 is a creative. The 9 is part of the 3-6-9 combination. 9s are extremely creative in whatever creative pursuit they decide to do. And if you look here at the sun sign in Taurus, like a garden built created and tended with care. So the Taurus energy is about creating something, and it's actually something quite tangible, like art or home decor or like a garden or, houses, something of beauty that will have lasting value and needs to be maintained and tended with care. Excuse me, just to have a little coughing fit there because I finished my drink. At home, the Taurus is very much a homebody. They love the natural world. They love being in nature. And for a life path 9, that can be a very spiritual pursuit for you. And your Taurus sun sign also, can't even talk, also likes to be out in nature. So part of your creativity that you can channel and influence people with through your 9 life path could be something very much creative artistry, like, showing people, how to grow things, or showing people how to, to sculpt a garden or to grow flowers that look beautiful and things like that, or things around that subject. You're here to learn to be able to move on in the 9. Excuse me, my cat is here. Move on in the 9, but also in the Taurus, be able to commit and stick to your decisions. So when you do move on and make decisions, be able to stick to them and be committed to them. The Taurus loves their sensory pleasures. They love being at home. They love good food. They love to feel warm. They love the security of money and material success. And as a 9, you can turn yourself to anything. You have the potential of being an entrepreneur that markets their creative passions, whatever those creative passions may be. And it will give you that security and that material success that you're here to build as a Taurus sun. The Taurus sun is very acquisitive, so they like to acquire things, they seek to possess, and like the 9, the Taurus struggles to let go. So there's a double red flag for the 9 life path with the Taurus sun, is that you might let go, you might hold on to things so darn tightly that, it's hard for you to move on from that situation. So that's an extra thing to focus on as a life path 9 with a Taurus sun. Self-indulgent, here we go, music and the arts again, which is very life path 9. The 9 life path is here to be very calm and measured, slow to anger, and that's what the Taurus is, a very calm and measured leader, and that very much mixes with the 2. Pragmatic but reserved, grounded, but resistant to change. Taurians can be very resistant to change, and with a creative 9 and being able to shut things down and move on, the 9 is really about change and learning to move on. So the Taurian really does need to learn, together with their 9 life path, to understand that change is the only constant. Death, taxes and change are the only things that we can be sure of in this world. So as a 9 of endings and moving on and completion, and with your struggles to let go, you need to be able to cope with change and not be so resistant to change, as it's like a fact of life. The Taurian is very reserved and grounded, resistant to change, pragmatic, committed, persistent and patient, steady, deliberate, endurance, very patient. And you see, the life path 9 can be quite emotional and dramatic. So there's a big thing there for the emotional 9 to be more steady and very patient in what they do. Very attuned to physical reality like the life path 9, but the life path 9 needs to learn to look towards faith over logic a bit more. And again, the Taurus is very attuned to the physical world and the way the world works, and they need to make sure they're listening to their intuition so that they're not totally immersed in worldly opinions and ideas that might not actually be something that they would intuitively do if it was down to them. So here's some keywords for the Taurus sun sign. So nines are artists, they're 369 creativity, and the Taurus sun sign are artists, engineers, designers. So there's a very strong focus there towards artistry and creative artistry. Entrepreneurial goal achievement, getting what you want, in the nine as well, ambition, hard working, achieving goals. The nine isn't so status obsessed as say a life path 8 would be, but the Taurian sun sign might be a little bit more status obsessed, and it's still something that they need to work on. Detail focused. You can see all these keywords here. If you take a moment to look at them, the Taurian likes to be at home. They hate drama, but the thing is the life path 9 can bring on its own drama without even knowing. They like to move slowly at a leisurely pace. The life path 9 really doesn't have much, they're not a fast moving energy, they're just very all encompassing. So it's basically thinking about how can you take account of your tasks for your life purpose in astrology, which is your sun sign in Taurus. And remember, you've got to consider the other little things like your north node as well. This is a very detailed process. You're going to need to look into other elements in your chart. This is just the main one. How can you blend that Taurian sun sign purpose and your north node with your life path number and achieve both of them in a very creative, artistic way? And that's something that you will, this is all big picture stuff, so the specifics will come from you. And if you need coaching on how to bring those specifics down to the ground and set some goals, then you can contact me, because I don't just do readings, I also do coaching to help people move forward as well. So let's move on to the talents. We've looked at the purpose. We've looked at your life purpose, things that you need to achieve, and your Taurian sun sign, things you need to achieve. But you've got talents in your toolbox, an expression 11, and you've also got your moon sign and your rising sign that can also be used to assist you to walk your path of purpose. So you're a wise old soul when you're a master 11. Higher abilities, very psychic in your ability, higher responsibility, which is good for your life path 9, because you really want to heal and improve the world, and that's an authentic thing that you can do as a master 11. So that can really help your need to be responsible and full of integrity in your life path 9. You can easily connect to source energy, channel unique, new, innovative ideas and messages to change the world. You can listen to and trust your intuitions, your perceptions, and your inner knowing. You can use spiritual practice and visualization. You can channel your advanced and intense master energy into your intentions for initiation and action in order to do big things in the world. It's a big talent that can do big things in the world. You're excellent at planning the next steps after channeling your new idea, innovation, or your message, and building a team around you to help you achieve your plans. Your decision making and validation is informed by your own intuition, which is another vital component for your life path 9, to act and move on your intuition more than your worldly discriminative ideas. Excuse me, itchy nose. You're here to be very much the ideas person, the channeler of information, the innovator, the channeler of the healing new message. You're here to be balanced in your confidence and confident in your uniqueness, because unique people are more valuable, like unique items are more valuable. And you're talented at being unique, and only unique people have unique, groundbreaking ideas. So you should, expression 11s are proud of their uniqueness because they know there's less of them around. Determined to succeed, they always engage 11s in self-discovery and research and spiritual development, to support their own self-esteem and help them to support others. What 11s learn when they do their self-discovery and spiritual development, they then pass on to the people that they're teaching and healing as a Master 11. And Expression 11s are quite happy in the limelight, you know, talking to groups of people or on a stage, talking to people and expressing their groundbreaking new ideas for any audience or social group. And they'll do that quite bravely and confidently and take risks to express those unique new ideas. And they'll be quite happy and have no issue with breaking social barriers and, you know, going against social norms and, you know, putting a cat amongst the pigeons of the normal everyday and the normal everyday beliefs. They're very much a change agent when you're in Expression 11, and you challenge other people's comfort zone, and you do that naturally. Nothing changes without a 1 or an 11. You're both a planner and a practical initiator. You can do both. You're a doer, very action orientated. You channel through your intuition, you plan it, you talk to the right people, and then you do it, and you learn by experience. So you do a mixture of planning and learning by experience, because you know fundamentally that only action brings change. You're intuitively sensitive, which is great for your life path, because you really need that. You really need to follow that. And you're intuitively sensitive to the needs of others to help you be of service to the world, because that's just what you do best. You know that we're fundamentally interconnected because you have that higher wisdom-filled ability. And you understand that we're interconnected and interdependent, and we should give and receive in equal measure, because everything is energy, and what you give you need to receive, otherwise you'll be depleted. You understand that as an 11. You understand that whole, and how we need to share energy amongst us in order not to create deprivation, to create some balance and equality. You realise that you're a powerful force for world change when you're an 11. And you ensure that everything you create is positive and responsible. And when you have a life path 9, that is even more important, that you use that element of your talent, this responsibility that you have naturally for others and your family and the team, is great, because it's really going to help you walk your powerful 9 path and create your Taurian creations with integrity and responsibility. And everything you do, everything you make, and everything you say is, you know, you're mindful of how that affects the people around you, ensuring that you're always responsible with that. You have excellent social skills as an Expression Master 11, because you're a talented illuminator. You give people new messages and new ideas, and they listen to you. You can widen and deepen your relationships. You're good with people long term, and when you meet people, you can consider other people's needs, and you make decisions very subjectively rather than objectively. You have a healthy, balanced need for love, which contributes to your healthy, close, long-term relationships that you're talented at building when you're an 11. And you serve the world, you can help the team, you serve the team and the task or the family or the group, and you foster dependability as an 11. You can always be relied upon to keep those cogs turning and get the job done behind the scenes. That's the idea channeling and manifesting, change bringing 11. And you have the assertiveness to be authentic and consider yourself enough to, you know, even though you're talented at being of service, you've got to have some boundaries against being overworked, against being walked all over, taken advantage of, or even taken for granted. So a service number like a talented 11, you need to make sure you have boundaries on that, as everybody will grab at your sweetie jar. And you know, you've got to value the contribution that you make and give yourself your own kudos. You know, you have a very strong talent to have a strong internal compass, and it's good for you to turn inward for validation and do what you think you should do, because your intuition is right on the money and you should follow it all the time. So that is your expression number. Very powerful master energy. And correlating next to that is your moon sign, which again is your emotional expression in the world, which very much for me anyway, works alongside your expression number. It's like your talent. So your moon sign makes you a talented Capricorn. So looking at all the, you know, you're talented at basically healing the world when you're a Master 11 and manifesting ideas. And then when you bring the Capricorn into it, focused, hardworking, strategic, practical achievements and success. So bringing something creatively and practically and working not too hard, I hope, with a balanced work ethic to bring great things that make a big impact. You need that sense of purpose, career goals and practical achievement, and the 11 is all about actually manifesting ideas, achieving goals, moving swiftly on to the next task for tangible results. So the 11 is about channeling and manifesting, and the Capricorn is saying, yep, work hard, have that sense of process, purpose, have those goals achieved, and achieve some tangible results, some tangible change, some tangible creative artistry. Be pragmatic, have an eye on material gain. So very much about that business again. So the 9 can be very entrepreneurial, and the Taurus is asking the 9 as well to be hardworking and build stability. And your talent in the Capricorn has an eye on material gain, works with purpose and ambition, and has goals. They'll climb to the top, quietly with endurance, and they'll follow the rules, even though, and as an 11 they're going to want to break them, but they will follow the rules and walk the path because they want to bring healing change, not disruptive change as an 11, or should I say they're talented at bringing positive and responsible change, not just drama and upheaval, which sometimes can be caused, but that's not the 11's intention. 11, Capricorns are ambitious. They climb to the top. They expect things to be tough. They're very hardy Capricorns, and that's your talent. You're quite tough, quite hardy. You knuckle down to earn your position. Management status is quite easy for you to attain, and as an 11 you're a very parental leader. You like to understand and create the rules. You can be quite introverted, and you work patiently with quiet endurance to make sure the work gets done. You keep your eye on the goal, which can sometimes make you a bit lonely, and you know what, you're talented in relationships as a Master 11, so it's important that you don't put your eye too much on the goal and you keep focused on your relationships, because as an 11 you're very talented in your relationships, and you don't want to waste that talent and have less fruitful close relationships because you're putting too much focus on the goal. You like to keep your eye on the goal, but you need to have that balance between the people you love and the goals you achieve, so that you're not money rich and love poor. Acts with mature dignity, shows maturity, takes on responsibility. There's that key word. Organised, reliable, worldly, pragmatic. This is all talents that you have to add to your Master 11 talent to help you move forward. So the 11 is very much about goal achievement and bringing a big impact on the world, to impact the world on a big scale. And Capricorn saying, yeah, set goals, achieve, get out there, bring something great to this world. So you need to blend those together, in order for you to be an 11 and a Capricorn that you already are, or use the ability of the expression 11 and the moon sign Capricorn to help you walk your life path and your sun sign. So here's some of the keywords. So again, you're very ambitious, you're actually quite materialistic, which is interesting because the Master 11 is very spiritual. They can be materialistic too, but they have the abilities of the spiritual to channel the spiritual, and they can be very spiritual focused. And then in the Capricorn, it's saying be very, you're going to have a lot of materialism. So I'm thinking there's going to be a mix there between channeling creativity and making something tangible that improves the lives of others. But again, the specifics of that is something for you to work out or, have coaching about. But yeah, they're money makers. They can be a bit money obsessed, but not all of them. Status conscious. If you look at these keywords here, they're a leader. organised, disciplined. They'll stick to the rules, even though 11s are here to bring change. While that change is occurring, they'll stick to the rules. They're very like an 11, responsible, calm, patient, trustworthy. Quite traditional in their way, which again is interesting when you're a master 11, which is all about change. It's saying that as a Capricorn, you're also quite traditional. So you can look backwards and forwards. So that's a talent you can use. Sometimes you need to relax and lighten up because you can be a little bit too uptight. And sometimes you can work a bit hard and be a bit of a control freak. But again, look at your talents in your expression 11, and then look at the talents in your Capricorn moon sign, as well as your rising sign, which we're about to look at, and think, how can you bring those together and then set some specific goals in order to use your talents in order to walk your purpose. So your rising sign is like your interests in your personality. So this can like be part of your toolbox to help you achieve your sun sign Taurus and your life path 9. So you're very like a social chameleon when you're a rising sign Gemini. So you can talk to anyone really and get on with anyone. You're aware of duality. You're very communicative, very restless. You need to be moving all the time. Love people, love going out, very playful and light-hearted and social and communicative. Easily bored though, needs variety and stimulation. Hates sameness. So whatever you do, remember you're in expression 11, so you're all about change and bringing the new. And then your rising sign gets bored with anything that's samey. So you can use that with your 11 talent to help you bring on the new. Even though as a Capricorn talent, you're quite good at being traditional, you're also good at bringing change. Adapt easily to new environments, express lightness, communication, love of learning and development. 11s love to develop themselves, and that's your talent, developing yourself so that you can help others. And then your Gemini rising sign adds to that because you also love to learn. You're curious, agile minded, and you will use what you learn through your 11 and your Gemini rising in order to help others. So you'll use your wisdom that you learn and you'll pass that on to those around you. You need constant change, conversation, social time. Hard to stick to one place or job for too long because Gemini risers, they just hate routine and sameness. And of course, 11s are all about change. So routine and sameness is not something that is good. And it's something that you're always going to want to avoid or change. You're quite a networker. You make connections. You might be reluctant to connect deeper at times. But as an 11, you've got that ability to do that. So don't be reluctant to go deeper because you can do it. You're a master 11 expression number. So don't be reluctant to engage with your deeper feelings. Make sure you're keeping your relationships strong because you don't want your relationships to suffer. You're very playful in your humour, so very social, very entertaining. Again, people listen to a Gemini rising, which can be fed through your life path 9 because you are here to communicate and influence as a life path 9. So it's about really your purpose, the things you're here to achieve is your life path 9 and your birthday number. And your Taurus sun and maybe your North Node. They're what you're here to achieve. And then how can you use your expression number and other numbers in your numerology chart for that matter? And then your sun, your moon and your rising sign especially to help you walk that path of purpose. So it's very big picture. It's very looking at all the big picture concepts and then thinking about how you can drill that down into actions and goals in the world so that you can really walk your path on earth. So just quickly before I move on, these are the key words for you as a Gemini. Quick-witted, optimistic, funny, loads of friends, very socially astute, but they're also a learner. They love to learn and then communicate that information just like an 11. New things, ideas, creative like the 11, likes gossip, new technology, future thinking. You've got to blend all these things together. Your 11 is future. Your Gemini rising is future. Your Capricorn really does your Capricorn moon does like tradition, but I think you've just got both ends of the scale there. You're good at looking at the tradition so that you can bring the new. The 11s can be quite in the clouds, and like the 11, you can be easily distracted, bit forgetful, bit unfocused at times, and you need to bring your focus back. So take a look over these keywords here. And these are all things that help you to bring all these energies together. So your Gemini rising is another part of your toolbox, really, that you can add to your expression number and the other numbers in your numerology chart. And then look at how they all work together so that you can use them to their best, really. So I hope you found this video useful today. Don't forget there's other elements in the astrology chart that needed to be taken into account, but I've focused on those 3 elements with 2 elements of the numerology, but you can go much deeper and you can add much more into that. And if you want to request videos on other sun and moon with life path expression videos, you can add to my list by doing a request on my videos or sending me an email. Might take me a while to do it unless of course you're a member plug again. And of course, as you know, I've got 2 books on Amazon that really dig into the energy of your life purpose and how the numbers work together, the expression number and life path. And I'm working on at the minute one that blends the soul urge number and the life path, so you can really dig deep into your numerology chart for yourself and other people. So I hope you've found that really interesting, because I have another exciting announcement for you. I now offer memberships. So my membership is 3-tier. So you've got a $2.99 monthly membership, and I'll know who you are straight away, because as soon as you become a member on the 1st tier, you'll get a little badge beside your name, and basically I will see you straight away and you will get priority reply to comments. If you request a video, you go straight to the top of the list, because you're just a priority member. And you'll have access to the members only community page, where I will post little extras about the energy of the day and how that might work for you, and how, you know, sometimes it's better to wait till tomorrow. You know what I mean. So it's how the energy of the day is working together, and then thinking about how the energy of your own day might work with that. And I do little community pages that are members only, and that's the $2.99. For $5.99 you get all of that, everything I've just said, plus early access to my videos before I post them on my channel, a couple of days before or just a day before, depending on my schedule. You'll get member shout outs, because I'll start to get to know you a little bit more personally, and there'll be members only videos that are more personal to you. For example, on my channel I do videos about how the expression 5 can help the life path 7, how the soul urge 3 can help the life path 9. But it's very wide picture. It's looking at the main parts of a chart, but it's not digging to the personal detail. So as a member, you can make requests through the community page for me to post you much more detailed videos that are more personal to you, that take account of the sub lessons. For example, instead of just expression 5 with life path 7, it can be expression 145 with life path 347, and then looking at the other individual numbers in your chart and actually going more personal with it. These videos are going to be much more detailed, much more focused, and definitely much more personal to you. And this is always a members only video. Non-members will not see these videos because they're much more specialized and they're much more special, and they're only for members. So I can give you more of a personal service over the videos when you do the $5.99. But if you do the $22.99, you get all of the above, like, you know, extra videos and detailed videos, but you also get a monthly one-to-one service from me. So I'll meet with you once a month and we can we'll start with talking about your chart, what you're here to do, what your purpose is, what your talents are, what you can do. And then over time, we'll start thinking, how can we drill that down? What day is it? Is it a good month for you to start this? What's your personal year? What tasks could you start doing to help improve your life path? It's an ongoing support and coaching process. And you get that one-to-one service for the $22.99, as well as all the other things on this picture here. So that's an exciting announcement, and I hope to see as many of you as possible on my members page so that we can be a bit of a gang with secrets. I hope you've enjoyed my video today. That's my first video on the Numerology Astrology blend, and I will do more as they're requested, especially if they're requested by members. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So if you've liked this video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe and follow if you're not already following. If you want a reading, numerology reading, or you'd like some one-to-one coaching, you can email me at katie@soulexplorer.net or contact me through my social media. Email, you'll get the quickest response. You might want to learn numerology, and you can do so with my books that are on Amazon. And I have courses on Udemy that I'm going to put links to in the description box, as well as links to my books on Amazon. So remember, if you want to request a video, please leave a comment on my videos or send me an email or contact me on social media, and I'll add you to my list, unless you're a member, of course. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink again. So everyone, whatever I say to you, don't believe it if your intuition don't believe it, because only your intuition knows what's best for you. See you soon.